Hey guys, my name is Chris and welcome back to the Modern Diver channel. Today I'm extremely excited to say that we're going to be starting a brand new series here on YouTube called Industry Insider. This is going to be a series where we do a deep dive into some of the biggest companies in the dive industry to hopefully give you guys an insight of what goes on behind the scenes to help support this phenomenal industry that allows us to go on these wicked underwater adventures. For this series, one of the first ones we're going to be diving into is Diversco Supply. If you guys are a diver, you have more than likely bought dive equipment, whether that be from a physical dive store or an online retailer. But you might have wondered, where is that dive equipment coming from? Well, Diversco Supply is the company that dive shops buy their equipment from. And we're going to be heading to their main headquarters in Cambridge, Ontario today to do a behind the scenes tour. So I'm really excited for this. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you guys want to jump through the video, I'm going to have timestamps down below. But with that said, let's dive right into it. Well guys, we made it. We are at the Cambridge, Ontario location for Diversco. We're going to be meeting up with Kyle today. He's going to be the one showing us around, so let's go check it out. Hey Kyle.
Hey Chris, welcome to Diversco.
Awesome, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Let's come on in.
Perfect, thanks for having us. So this is where the magic happens, eh?
This is where it all happens.
Perfect.
Yeah, come on in, we'll get you signed up and we'll show you some cool stuff.
Awesome. All right, guys, so we're signed in here at Diversco. So as mentioned, we're going to be touring around today with Kyle. Kyle, do you mind giving yourself an introduction?
Yeah, hi, my name's Kyle. I'm the digital marketer here at Diversco, and I've been working with them for about 3 years now.
Awesome, very cool. So for our viewers who have never heard of a distribution center or a distributor in the dive industry, can you take a moment just to explain what Diversco does?
Yeah, so at the base of it, as a distributor, we work with different dive brands and we bring in product. In this particular facility, we're in a Cambridge, Ontario facility in Canada. So we bring in equipment from those different brands and then we help distribute them to your individual dive shops in the cities in which you live.
Very cool. How many dive shops in Canada do you guys supply roughly?
There's about 140 or so dive shops in Canada that we work with.
And that's coast to coast, correct?
That's coast to coast,
East
yeah,
coast,
all the way from Newfoundland all the way to BC. Mm-hmm. And globally, we work with about just shy of about 1,000 dealers.
Very cool. And then, so Diversco has 2 locations, correct? So there's one here in Canada and then one in the U.S.?
So we have 2 main facilities when it comes to dive equipment. Yeah, our Cambridge facility, which is head office, and our Norcross, Georgia facility. Mm-hmm. But total, there's about 7 warehouses across, including from Saskatoon all the way to Moncton. We have different warehouses that primarily work with some of the different divisions that we have at Diversco.
You guys are going to see in a moment, this place is huge, and we're really excited to get the opportunity to see behind the scenes, and we're going to show you guys around of how the distribution side of the dive industry works.
All right, let's go check it out. All right, so let's go on inside. We'll head into the office and show you a little bit of the inner workings of Diversco.
Perfect.
All right. So here we are in the office, Diversco, in Cambridge facility, and this is kind of like the inner brain of the whole operation. So let's take you for a walk and I'll introduce you to a couple of people. So here at Diversco Cambridge, we basically do all of the customer service for Canada in this location. So any of your dive shops that are located here in Canada, the shop is calling in here with their concerns or their orders, and the awesome customer service team here at Diversco is helping out with whatever their issue is or whatever product that they need to get on their shelves. So that's all done right here.
Awesome,
in-house.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then you've got accounting at this end of the building, and within this facility we've got actually 7 different divisions that are running kind of under the same Diversco umbrella. Mm-hmm. So you're going to get accounting here is going to be working with the scuba as well as water sports as well as propane and transportation. So there's a lot happening under this roof, which is super exciting. There's always something fun happening here.
Awesome, very cool.
So this station, even though there's not many people here right now, this is kind of where our internal purchasing happens. So all of our ordering from our suppliers, from the different brands that we distribute, is all done here in-house, so that we can make sure that we get the coolest products for you guys when it comes to selection at dive shops, right? So that's all done right here as well. And then in this office, this is where we've got our transportation side of the company. So when it comes to logistics, transportation, freight, all of that is done in-house. We have our own fleet of trucks and trailers, and all of that done is run through these awesome guys.
Very cool.
And a very big component of Diversco, which is basically kind of what it was initially founded on and started with, was as a propane company and propane parts and cylinders. And all of that customer service side of things is done in these awesome people. All right, so now that we showed you a little bit about how the office is and who's in there, let's take a look and we'll show you the warehouse now.
Perfect.
All right. All right, so this is our warehouse facility. It's a 50,000 square foot area. We've got about 13 aisles worth of product, as well as some open space where we stock some of the larger items. Anywhere from the scuba product to our industrial components and parts are stored here as well. All right, so now let's take a look at one of these aisles and see some of the stuff that is stocked on it. So in this particular aisle, we try to maximize all of our aisles as efficiently as possible. So in this case, we try to keep some of the masks together. We've got boots, we've got some fins, and we've got some snorkels amongst all sorts of other stuff.
You guys have a crazy amount of products. How do you guys keep track of all of these?
Yeah, it is a lot, especially across all of the divisions because it's all mixed in. So there's a couple different ways that we do that. One of the ways is that every product, every box has a barcode on it. And this is going to be able to dictate what part number it is. And that in combination with our aisle and our shelf barcodes, we're able to scan a barcode and we're able to pull up what item is on that particular shelf at any given time. So this means when your shop places an order, our guys are able to find and locate the product as quickly as possible to be able to get it back out the road for you. All right, so let's take a look now here at this corner of the warehouse and some of the bigger stuff that we stock and distribute. Over here we have a little bit of what is our receiving area. So our Norcross location in Georgia as well as our Cambridge are our two primary locations in which product is shipped out globally. The Norcross, Georgia takes care of continental US and export, and our Canada office takes care of Canada. So here we've got a whole bunch of new wetsuits that have just shown in. So they're just getting received, tagged, and then they're gonna find a nice spot somewhere in here where they can be stored until we need to pick them.
Very cool.
Now these crazy kind of ominous big black boxes are really cool. These are our, as we represent Sherwood Scuba, Genesis Scuba, and Akona Adventure Gear, we're often at a lot of the industry shows, so especially DEMA being the big one. So these crates are ready to be loaded and then opened up, and the cool thing with these crates is they're actually the display. Awesome. So if you've seen any of our photos from Sherwood and Akona at DEMA, you would have seen those crates all set up and lit up, which is really cool. Another cool thing that Akona does and Diversco does with Pulse and some of its other water sports brands is we have our own paddle boards. So these are just a fraction of the paddle boards that we stock and distribute across
Which is crazy because you can see how many of these are stacked up.
Yeah, they're probably like
the wall.
30 so deep at least, and rows and rows. We've got paddle boards for every age, every style, all sorts of crazy designs, no matter your taste. So lots of fun. Definitely recommend you try paddleboarding. All right, so let's head on over to the other side of the warehouse, the hub, the center where everything happens. This is where all of the loading docks are, where the product comes in when it's being received from overseas or from our other warehouses, as well as this is the prepping station where all of our orders that go out to the local dive shops are processed and ready to go out the door. As you can also see, there are some other products that have nothing to do with diving here, and that's part of our other divisions. So we do a lot of propane cylinders and parts. as well as other sort of industrial gas components.
I see you guys have even more stand-up paddle boards all the way over there.
Lots of paddle boards. So we are definitely stocked up on paddle boards.
It looks like we've got some kayaks over here as well.
And we've got kayaks as well. So through Akona Adventure Gear, we have all sorts of sizes and shapes of kayaks available for all sorts of paddlers.
Awesome. And you guys store both stuff inside and outside, is that correct?
Yes, so we have lots of indoor storage, like we said, 50,000 square footage of actual indoor space. And then outside the property, I believe, is about 5 hectares of space, and we've got trailers of stuff stored out back.
Very cool.
Lots of stuff. All right, so back here in the back section of the warehouse, we have, you'll notice some fishing trailers and some fishing boats. And this is kind of like our assembly center, assembly area, where we work with Marlon boat trailers and boats. And all of these trailers are assembled right here in the Cambridge facility. And then as the summer months approach, then they get shipped out to the different marinas as well around Ontario.
This is the way to your outdoor storage.
Yes, so we're going to go
correct?
back here into the outside where everything is either stored or are prepped for delivery. So right now we've got stacks of trailers that are to be assembled in preparation for the summer, as well as in the back you'll be able to see sled decks for the snowmobilers in the winter. And then way back in the back, we've got our trailers and trucks from Diversco Transport back there. Some of those trailers will be storage, as well as some are ready for deliveries. All right, so now let's take a little bit of a closer look as to what specifically happens when a dive shop calls and puts in an order.
Awesome.
So the first thing, obviously, is first point of contact. The shop either sends in an order via email or calls our customer service team. They put the order into the system. And then that order, about 99% of those orders are going to come in here to our VLM system, which is a vertical lift modules. So these are basically vending machines on steroids. So the orders come through here, and then we're able to pick all the items based on location. The VLMs are perfect for all of those small, super tiny, hard to find items that would be impossible to pick from the shelves, right?
Mm-hmm. And how many items do you guys roughly have in these?
So there's about 74 trays in each unit. We have four different units. And in those trays, there can be anywhere from 4 items or 4 slots to about 400.
Wow.
So the estimate is probably around 10,000 or so items in across all 4. And they're at about 80% capacity right now. So
Cool.
a lot of different items. So this tray that we brought down here shows kind of an example. We can mix and match products across all divisions. So you're gonna have scuba products, water sports, propane, all mixed in here. And the beauty of the whole system is it's all categorized, much like our barcode system and scanners in the aisles, is we're able to see that in section 2, we have 8 of this part number, which is our sun shirts, our Kona rash guards. So that someone's picking an order, it knows it'll tell them how many to pick, and where to grab them, so that there's no confusion and very minimal mistakes, which is really awesome.
Very cool. So if a dive shop places an order with a bunch of small parts, basically an employee will stand here, punch in the relevant codes, pick the items, throw it into a box, and then you guys get it ready for shipping.
Yeah, so the machine actually does it itself. So the order comes through, you hit pick, you hit basically a big enter button, and then it starts bringing down all the trays, and you just grab whatever it tells you. So you grab 1 here, 2 there, 3 there, whatever it is, and eventually you can do 8 orders at a time, and you send them down the thing, and then they'll be ready for shipping.
And where do you put those items once you grab them?
So once we grab an item, say we're shipping these rash guards, we would grab our rash guards, we would come down to our prepping area, and the picker would grab a bucket, and they'd start filling the bucket with that particular order. Sometimes you'll have an order that's just 1 bucket. Sometimes you'll have an order that's 3 or 4 buckets. Anything that requires anything larger that we've seen on the racks, say like cylinders, tanks, weights, masks and fins, those get sent down this aisle. But if it's ready to go straight from the VLM, we send it down those rollers and we're good to go. So now that we've got everything that we need from the VLM, the order is ready to ship. So we're going to take our products, we're going to send them down the rollers. and we're going to move over to our staging area where we're going to box up everything. I've got another box here actually that we've already got ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our fancy Diversco safety tape, get our box taken on over to our shipping area where we're going to weigh and measure the box, get all the information entered into the courier that we're sending this particular one with, and then we're going to place it on over to our staging area where then the couriers come at the end of each day to take the package out to your local dive shop.
And what couriers do you guys ship with?
So we vary. There's about 6 or 7 different ones that we do, but the main ones are going to be Purolator, Campar, FedEx.
Awesome. Very cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, there we go. That is a extremely detailed behind-the-scenes tour of Diversco, and I want to thank Kyle for taking the time to give us such a detailed tour. As you guys can see, there's a lot of different types of equipment that goes through this facility. And one thing we didn't get a chance to highlight yet was the actual brands that are involved with Diversco. So, Kyle, do you mind taking a moment just to let us know what brand equipment actually comes through this facility?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Trident dive accessories. We've got Reef Safe. We have Lawrence Factor filters and compressor parts, Faber cylinders, Catalina cylinders, fin clip, as well as Sherwood Scuba, Genesis Scuba, and Akona Adventure Gear as well.
And the cool thing is you guys source that equipment from all over the world, correct?
Yeah,
you guys
so
get shipments coming in.
they are some American-based companies as well as overseas, so there's stuff coming from everywhere all the time.
Awesome. And the cool thing is you guys don't just source equipment, but you guys actually have some of your own in-house brands. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is absolutely correct.
Awesome.
We have 3 brands, Genesis Scuba, Sherwood Scuba, and Akona, that we all do design processes, new product development, and all of that marketing and all that in-house stuff happens right here at our Cambridge facility as well as our Norcross, Georgia facility as well.
Awesome. Wicked. Well, guys, I hope that gave you guys an insight on what it's like behind the scenes in the dive industry and what goes into actually supplying your favorite dive store or resort with the equipment that allows you to go on these awesome adventures worldwide. So thanks again to Kyle and the team here at Diversco, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thanks for coming.